There's just no road this bitch is still here. She needs to go on tier 6. So, Qingquan needs to... Subscribe! Hey guys, MrPokke here, back with another video, and today we are going to be taking a look at the latest pure fiction tier list. This is probably my first time I've actually conducted the pure fiction tier list on the channel, right? So without further ado, let's get into today's content. Okay, the most popular tier list for honkaistarrail that rates all available characters by their performance in MOC, Pure Fiction, and Apocalyptic Shadows. So I think all this, yeah, you guys can just take a look at yourself. I do want to take a look at this specific line over here, which is going to be discussing the Pure Fiction side of things, right? How the character performs in Pure Fiction. AOE is king here, followed by Blast or single target damage is mostly useless. First of all, Blast is just lying for fun. Blast just lying for fun. I'm not sure if you guys have seen my previous video. We literally got ourselves a 40k point running Scylla, Robin, and Bronya. So Blast just lying for fun. We're just gonna take a look at what we see exactly, but I can kind of get the situation. I can kind of get the gist of it. Generally speaking, I think this is a pretty good benchmark to go by. Of course, not everyone is gonna have a 90% crit rate, 200% crit damage Scylla, and not everybody is gonna have like all this kind of the availability of the tools required to make their team combos, right? But definitely not always, you know. Single target is not actually, not that I think about it, it's only Scylla. No, I think it's only Scylla actually. Maybe Topaz. Okay, I think Topaz is follow up, so it's not exactly genuine. Okay, let's just kind of take a look at the changelog, right? Boom, done. Added Jiao Qiu to the tier list. Our team was impressed with Jiao Qiu's consistency and clear potential with Pure Fiction. With the release of Jiao Qiu, our team re-evaluated all characters within the specialist category when deciding on his placement and found Gui Naifen no longer suited. Oh, our streamer is dead. Yo, L's in the chat. She's dead. The main reason is that Gui Naifen's damage output isn't the reason why she's brought to the teams. Her debuffs are. Promised big update to MOC is still in progress. Okay, so we're not going to take a look at MOC update yet. We're just going to take a look at the brand new Pure Fiction update brought about in the Prydwen's website, right? So in the Apex category, we have Herta Himiko at tier 0 DPS. Jade as a tier 0 support. Specialist, my bad. Tier 0 Robin and Ranmei. And sustain we have at Adventuring. Blood is busting all over the place. Holy shit, Blood is triple tier 0. Argenti is at tier 0. Holy shit, Blood is tier 3 in MOC. That's kind of crazy. DOTs, a Black Swan and Kafka. And then we have a little Sparkle, kind of falling a little bit behind her peers in the kind of a limited harmony sustain. And then we have Fu Xuan, Gallagher, and Huan Hui. So these are gonna be the Apex units, right? So if you can build two different teams, two different archetypes, you're probably gonna be taking a look at somewhat like a, you know, you build a Ranmei, build a Robin, build a Ventrine, and build a one more support over here, one of the DPS over here, and one of the, maybe you want to build a specialist class, you can build J, build DOT. Let's take a look at the sustain. I like to start with sustain going to DPS. I think it's fine, but I feel that the gap between tier 0 and tier 0.5 for sustain is not that high for Pure Fiction, mainly because you don't really face like potential one-shot kills. So like the gap between this is probably a lot smaller compared to like Mog and AS. You don't really face as much sustain pressure. It's mainly just about making sure that over all of the waves, because especially if you can wave clear very well, you don't even feel the impact that much. The mobs just die from the random ass debuff, shatter, whatever. So like it's more or less okay. Aventuring himself, if he does a lot of damage, what if you don't run Robin though? Does he still do a lot of damage if you don't run him with Robin? Mine does. Alright, because Sarah's Aventuring does a lot of damage, that shall be our data point. So Aventuring is him. Aventuring does infinite damage even without Robin. So we'll take Sarah's word for it. Absolutely. But yeah, me personally, I think there's not too much of a difference here. I think he can still be a tier 0 just because in terms of a utility and I mean, technically, yeah, if you run him, you probably will run him with Robin, right? The damage will be pretty good. The shield is pretty nice. If fair rest, how much trigger broken kill. And then especially with, oh my god, the fucker like Cocolia, the fucking freeze. If fair rest is pretty good. But then that being said, I think all these sustains, they kind of always get the job done. Yeah, I think more or less it's okay. Amplifier. Okay, me personally, right? If there can only be one tier 0, which in my opinion should be the case for tier 0. If there can only be one tier 0, I will only put Robin here. I feel from the bottom of my heart, Robin is better than Ranmei in Pure Fiction. Because one of the things that I've noticed, we don't need big booms. You don't need big booms of damage with the res and all that kind of stuff. The action value you obtain from the extra turns, basically 3 units worth of extra turns, I think it's more important than me personally. If there can only be one tier 0. I'm not sure, right? I'm not sure, right? Maybe you guys have E6 Aircron, E6 Firefly. I didn't use them, you know, because I'm a free-to-play Honkai Starbucks player. I use relatable teams, you know, like, you know, the 1.0 teams, you know, basically bring up the voices of the unsung, right? Aside from Super Break, all that kind of stuff, I think Robin just kind of edges out a bit. You can slap on with Hyper Carry, Scylla, Bronya, Robin, slap on with your IPC, fucking slap on with DOT. I feel that Robin does a little bit more when it comes to the value up. What if there was an evolution break unit like who? Super Break Himeko? Is Super Break Himeko like more popular than Crit Himeko? Alright, I don't want to go into this kind of a whoopsie doozy niche text. Me personally, Robin is better than me. We can disagree. We can agree. It's all good. That's down my point. If there can only be one tier 0, so I bump her ass down. And if I were to bump Rame's ass down, I'll probably bump Sparkle's ass down. So that's gonna be that. Okay, the rest of us, let's not spoil ourselves yet. Jade. Now, unfortunately for myself, I don't have Jade on my account. But from the creator experience server, when I played Jade, she's completely fucking busted. Jade works exceedingly well in Pure Fission. Really, really nice. Really, really fun. Is she tier 0? I'll leave it up to you guys. By my experience, she's definitely nothing below tier 0.5. I think it's either this or this, right? I will say, is DOT still relevant? I have not played DOT in a while. Okay, because my thinking with DOT, right, is if you don't have the buffs to maintain these DOTs, you have to keep reapplying and wait for the DOT to pop off. And in Pure Fiction, where action value is a lot more important, you might not have enough time. You get what I'm saying? Because every single time you have to wait until the enemy takes their turn for the DOT to trigger, and then they die. I think there was a couple of cycles where DOT, they performed exceedingly well because of the buffs, right? Because of the buffs. But if without like a specific DOT buff, now you have to not only reapply fresh DOT on new waves, you also have to wait for these new waves, the new DOT, to trigger again. So that's my personal opinion. I didn't play DOT enough to kind of know exactly where DOT stands in Pure Fiction. So I'll leave that up to you guys as a food for thought. But I feel that Jade is definitely way better, right? So I think this is fine. The question is, if it's not DOT, then who? Who, if it's not like if it's not DOT, who should be in 0.5, right? So I want to take a look at the meta characters. So we'll show tier 0 Herta and Himeko. Okay, Himeko, I feel she's excellent. Every single time, whenever there's at least like any forms of way that you can trigger your break, slap her in, flies out the full attacks. Apparently, there's Super Break Himeko nowadays. I'm a boomer, right? I'm the good old-fashioned crit Himeko, right? I'm a boomer. I just run her rainbow crit sets. Performs exceedingly well. So I really like Himeko. Herta, I'm gonna keep it about. I have not used her enough, just because, you know, I have Himeko. So I have not used her enough. I can kind of see why they will perform the same. It's just that Herta's follow-up kind of just triggers once. Until the unit dies, they can trigger again. Okay, wait, chat. Between Herta and Himeko, who is stronger? Between Herta and Himeko, who is stronger? Herta slaps, but needs a main DPS. There's a lot of ice weakness. This Pure Fission is Himeko. Right, I don't think there is a ice weak side, right? First half is Kafka, second half is Kokolia. I don't think there's an ice weak side for Herta. Herta works without weakness and is easy 40k as hyper carry. Okay, so apparently Herta is better than Himeko. Yeah, I don't really have too much comments, but I think they're both excellent. Leave your thoughts in the comments on YouTube. Which one do you guys think is better? Argenti. First of all, who the fuck is still using? Second of all, I have not used him in a while. Alright, I'm gonna give it about. I have not used Argenti in a minute, because I like to use this kind of like underutilized units, you know. I like to be relatable to my audience. I like to run like Scylla. I like to run like Bailu, Japar, you know. So I don't like to run this kind of like units that nobody runs. I think the few times where we actually ran Argenti was probably like the first or second Pure Fission where we ran Argenti. Then afterwards I stopped using him because I kind of got bored of Pure Fission myself. Argenti is ass without his Light Cone or Battle Pass. Argenti is tier 0. Nope. I don't think Argenti is tier 0. I think these two kind of outperforms Argenti just in terms of like flexibility, versatility, and they're women. And men are trash, right? So yeah, it is what it is. But I think I can stick with Argenti being tier 0.5. Alright, so that's gonna be that for our Apex characters. Well, again, I don't want to say Pure Fiction is not my favorite mode. It is not a mode that I'm like grinding on a daily basis. So do take my opinions with a grain of salt. The only one that I feel very, very strongly for in the Apex tier is Robin. I sincerely think that Robin is just better than Rame, and she should be alone in tier 0. Right, that's the only thing I feel very strong. Everything else is kind of like eh. Moving on to the meta tier. Okay, Luocha found dead in the ditch. Okay. Xiaoqiu. Again, this is just a more of a nuanced rating, just to leave him in tier 1 first, because they say they want to test him out a little bit more, especially when with regards to the team, there's no Aircron. But yo, chat, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Me personally, if you don't have Aircron, I wouldn't pull Xiaoqiu. Me personally, I think it's a little bit cool. Like between Xiaoqiu and Runmei, or Xiaoqiu or Robin, if you want to run with DOT, I would choose the other two. So take it as you will. Okay, so we do have Pella, Tierlist, Xiaoqiu, and Harmony Trailblazer in the same tier, and then followed by Asta, Bronya, and Gui Naifen. Okay. Let's still one over them. Firefly being a solo tier 1 into a Topaz tier 1.5, and then we have Aircron, Kelala. Jingyuan is tier 1. Where the fuck? It's oh my god, Scylla is tier 2. Holy shit. Quite spicy. I would say this is quite spicy. This is quite spicy. Before we kind of move on, I guess that the entirety of the sustain tier list just doesn't exist, aside from the limited sustain and Gallagher. Bailu doesn't exist. Japart doesn't exist. Fucking Lynx, nobody exists. Me personally, it's a little bit harsh. Me personally, I feel it's a little bit harsh. But I don't think they are like they are like fucking 3 tiers below. Like, I would give Bailu some face. I would give Bailu and Japart, Chatpart some face. Slapping on tier 2. Especially if you are running Aircron, you want to get the trend on the universal market. You know, preservation is always not too bad. You know, I'll give them some face. And Bailu has the revive if you're a little dum-dum, right? A little bit of a whoopsie. You can still kind of cleanse back out with Bailu. It's just that the problem with both of these units, they don't have cleanse. And against stages like Cocola is kind of annoying. But I will give them face. You are better off running no sustain. No, bro, just lying for fun. You run no sustain, just die. Alright, so Sarah's just lying for fun. Hey, chat, ignore her, right? Ignore her. Anyways, yeah, I'll give them some face. I'll give them a tier 2. I think there's a lot of tier 1s. They might need to be a little bit more strict. Me personally, keep it buck, I'll drop Gwen Ivan now. Who actually uses Gwen Ivan? Like legit. Who actually uses Gwen Ivan? This is pure fiction tier list. Okay, so no one uses Gwen Ivan. Okay, I'll drop Gwen Ivan now. Done. Bronya being tier 1.5 feels kind of bad though. Okay, but it is E0. I feel like I wanna give Bronya up a bump. But if I give Bronya up a bump, there's way too many tier 1s. Me personally, I like Bronya. But then again, it's E0. So might run into your skill point issues. From personal experience, I really like using my E2 S5. Yep, so I personally like Bronya. She's not that bad. But I guess at E0 and S1, then I guess not too much to be said, I guess. But I like her, right? I like her. Asta, no comments, didn't use her enough. Yingyun, I think is fine. Teaming Pella, Harmony Trailblazer, I think they're all pretty fair. I think Xiaoqiu performs very, very good in pure fiction. In the creator experience, I think Xiaoqiu performs extremely well, especially if you run with Aircron, because he gives Aircron a shit ton of fucking stacks. When you pop on the ultimate, it gives a ridiculous amount of stacks. Very, very, very good. So I personally think Xiaoqiu is really, really good. But the catch is you kind of need to run with Aircron. If you don't run with Aircron, it's kind of like I don't really give a fuck, right? I don't really give a fuck. Like the DOT units having the ultimate field up doesn't matter because it's ultimate damage vulnerability, which doesn't matter at all. It changes nothing for DOT teams. But for Aircron, it changes a lot. It gives her a shit ton of stacks. So me personally, I would expect Xiaoqiu to kind of go up by half a tier. Firefly, I would love to comment, but you know, because I have an E6 S5 girlfriend, I have not used like my E6 S5 units in a long ass time, so I have no comments for now. My chat can kind of tell me, or you guys can kind of tell me, how does a E0 Firefly perform in pure fiction? Suck ass, not that good. Fine with Herta. E1 maybe. E0 Firefly sucks unless you have Himeko. Firefly costs too much energy. Mid. E0 Firefly is S. Best character in the game. Alright, so my chat hates Firefly apparently. I mean, it's normal, right? Because Firefly dated me instead of my chat, so I guess they hate Firefly. It's all good. So I guess my chat believes that Firefly should go into a lower tier, so it is what it is. I think Tobas is fine. I think follow-up team is always not too shabby, especially when we get the stages where we get the follow-up buff. I do believe I think we do get a follow-up buff, right? So I think Tobas should I'll bump it up. Who the fuck is using Sambo? Who the flying fuck is using Sambo? Drop this guy down. Fire Trailblazer I think is not too bad with only with Aircron. Only with Aircron and only with the trend of universal market. Only. Everything else is kind of like not too insane. Han March 7th. No comments. Yeah, no comments. So that's gonna be that. DB, okay. DPS. This DPS tier is kind of interesting. Acheron, Kelala, Dingyuan, and Yunli at tier 1. Baldi at tier 1.5. And Scylla, Jingliu, Serval at tier 2. I have no idea who is the Jingyuan main intern at Prydwen. They're smoking way too much crack. Alright? They're smoking way too much crack. So they need to calm the fuck down. Right, they need to calm the fuck down. Let me know when there's an update where we can buff Lightning Lord's action value or buff Lightning Lord's speed. Until that patch happens, this guy needs to go down. 100%. Kelala, I feel that Yunli is better than Kelala. Because Kelala is very, very reactive. You need to wait for the enemies to actually hit you. So at least Yunli is a little bit more proactive, so you can kind of deal a little bit more damage. So I don't think Kelala and Yunli should be in the same tier. I will personally drop down Kelala by half a tier. Jingyuan needs to go down to tier 2, respectfully. Blade, I could see Blade being not too bad. Right? The AoE, the follow-ups, hit all five targets. Pretty decent state. I can see Blade being not too bad. Acheron tier 1, I think not too much of yourself here. I think she's just her. So not insane, but definitely still good enough to kind of clear the stages. Okay, why is she at tier 0? Tier 2. I don't understand this, like, genuinely. This is probably my biggest disagreement with the entire tier list. I don't know what teams they're running with Scylla. I don't know what kind of, like, the investment, because like Blood is literally one of the few units that, first of all, doesn't care about your idolence. Second of all, doesn't care about your signature light cone. And third of all, we have seen incredible progress in terms of how many supports. Like my girl Robin. As per the previous video, if we slap on the infinite turn cycles, you have 5 billion turns with Robin, Bronya, Scylla. And the best part is you won't even run out of skill points, because you can just basic. Scylla can literally basic and take away the mob because of all the shatter and all that kind of stuff. This is the biggest problem. And even without Robin, right? Like, okay, take away the Bronya. Even without Robin, I almost got 30,000, and I would have gotten 30,000 if I landed that fucking crit at 90% crit rate, by the way. We literally almost got 30,000 running a E0 Scylla, a Pella, a Bronya, and a fucking Japart. Most of the times, it was also a lot of, like, overkill damage. Like, my ult was dealing, like, what, 100,000, 150,000. It's not even needed, because the mobs you just die way before. So it's not like you need a crazy ass investment Scylla either. The difference between a 90% crit rate, 200% crit damage Scylla to a 80% crit rate, 160% crit damage Scylla is, I don't think it's even that bad. Especially if you give it a product team comps. So I think this tier 2 Scylla needs to go up a little bit. Is it same tier as Acheron? Okay, me personally, I would. But I can also understand why, you know, she's a little bit annoying to play as well. You need to know when the fuck do you use your skill, when the fuck do you slice in your ultimate, when do you use who do you use her with even, manage your energy. So it can be a little bit annoying to play. I'll give it 1.5. But I think for the general, if it was just me personally, I'll give it to tier 1. But I think 1.5 is fine. Jian is going on tier 2 that is done. Jingliu have not used her in a long time. Let me know what you guys think about Jingliu. Jingliu and Baldi might be pretty decent though. Dual DPS and you trigger each other, all that kind of stuff. Step on the healer, step on sustain. So that is gonna be that. Serval, I'm pretty sure if we ran Serval with Robin the other day, I think we've gotten a pretty decent clear. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it for the meta characters. This is my overall biggest gripe with the entire tier list. Final portion, the forgotten ones. Oh wait, the niche characters. I'm just wrap everything. I think the rest of the stuff here are kind of okay. There's just no road this bitch is still here. She needs to go on tier 6. So Qingque needs to die. In particular, you know, skill points, a little bit of overkill, E0, no skill icon. I know what, I'll give it to you. But Qingque cannot be in the same tier as in particular, so this bitch needs to die. These no comments. I said this before. These two, I feel like they need a little bit more of a face. I'll bump them to tier 2. Mars 7, nobody cares. Okay, this is yeah. Oh, Booty Chicks is dead. Alright, is what it is. Okay, I think that it kind of marks everything. The rest of these, I just don't use them enough. Let me know in the comment section about some of this like niche picks that people just don't use ever. Let me know, because I legit have not used them. Maybe they're crazy. Maybe Yi and Qi should be tier 4, tier 3. You know, who knows, right? So yeah. With that, we have pretty much came to the end of our first ever. I'm not sure if it's the first or second ever pure fiction tier list in Prydwen. word of the day is gonna be bang. B-A-N-G. I don't know why, because it kind of just makes sense. So, yeah, B-A-N-G, bang, 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 boom, bang. Alright, so that's gonna be the word of the day. Join Discord, join Twitch, join YouTube, all the kind of stuff. All the best for your Xiao Qiu pools that dropped out today, right? All the best. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.